Hello everyone, I am Dr. 𝗱𝗶𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, co-chair of ISPRM Communication Committee, and continuing with our disaster rehabilitation series, today we have with us Dr. Filipinas Ganchoon, who was the co-chair of ISPRM Disaster Rehabilitation Committee from 2016 and 2019, and she has been the president of Philippine Academy of Rehabilitation Medicine, and she is the head of 𝗱𝗶𝗀𝗵𝗯𝗶𝗀𝗀𝗀 Cares Disaster Rehabilitation Mission Team from 2013 and 2015. She has vast experience in providing rehabilitation services in disaster situation, and today she is with us to share her experience. How are you doing today, Dr. Filipinas?
I'm doing great, and I'm happy that we're having this disaster rehabilitation series.
So I wanted to ask you that in what kind of disaster situation have you had the experience of providing the rehabilitation services?
So, I'm involved in other NGOs, but with Philippine Academy of Rehabilitation Medicine, uh, I was involved with Farm Care's Super Haiyan uh, disaster response, which lasted for 3 years. So this happened November 8, 2013, and we started our mission November 13, 2013 until 2016.
Okay, so it's quite an extensive services that you provided. And may I ask what kind of rehabilitation services did you provide during that time duration?
So we were able to conduct 23 emergency response missions. And in those missions, we're able to distribute during the first 4 months, we're able to distribute more than 31,000 relief kits and containing food and non-food items, and also provide medical aid. Mostly during the acute stage, most people have wounds, so and those are the first things we addressed. And after the fourth month, we're getting um, queries for physical rehabilitation services, because most of them have musculoskeletal, almost like 70% have musculoskeletal injuries, and others like 20% have neurological injuries, and the rest have dermatological conditions. So we then focus, after 4 months, we then focus our services to physical rehabilitation services, because most emergency teams like Handicap International, their mission is only 6 months. They have to pull out of the locality, so they endorse those people who lost their legs, the amputees, to us. So that gave birth to another group of mission where we provided free prostheses, initially free evaluation, free checkups, free rehabilitation services, and then training them to use their artificial legs, providing them free artificial legs. So the the mission evolved and eventually become more focused to physical rehabilitation medicine services.
And did your mission just focused on the patients with traumatic amputations and for their prosthetic rehabilitation, or did your mission also included the patient with various spinal cord injuries and other neurological injuries as well?
Those with spinal cord injuries and those with neurological injuries were airlifted to tertiary hospitals, because at the time it was Category 5 Super Typhoon. So most of the hospitals in the area were destroyed. In fact, another part of our 3-year project was helping the 3 hospitals that were destroyed, re-equipping them with rehab equipments that were donated by Rehabilitation Foundation, WRF.
And as per your experience, what do you think? What are the things that worked really well in your circumstance?
I think what worked really well was the fast response and coordination of, in spite that we don't have any experience in disaster rehabilitation at the time, it was a fast coordination with farm, and then ISPRM got in touch with us because ISPRM is a disaster rehabilitation committee, and we're able to work with ISPRM and other Southeast Asian societies. PRM societies also help us, and also under NGOs, so we're able to work together fast and deliver the services right away within like a week's time. So that's really what worked well, and also finding people that have the heart to do it, despite the training, and that we're doing it, disaster rehabilitation, and we don't have training, but it's like an on-the-job training. So it's good to find what work was. It's good to find people with uh, the heart, and they're willing to be trained. So the on-the-job training happened right there on the field with people who are willing to do the job. So that really worked well because there's so many people who volunteer to do the job and are willing to be taught. So that worked well.
And what do you think are the lessons learned after your experience of this 3 year of your missions?
What's the lessons learned? That
Yeah.
disaster rehabilitation really requires a lot of teamwork, uh, from the international to the national level to the local level. And mostly, like international teams would come in the area and they have to leave right away. So the success of your mission really depends on finding the right people on the ground locally that will continue on, who believes in, who sees the vision and is making themselves available and are willing to be trained to do the job. And that would determine the success of your mission. And that has an impact. It's not just like what we did. We're not just going there and giving basic relief goods. Right now, after 10 years, I went there again in 2013. In 2023 February, it's like 10 years after, and I'm so happy to see that the hospitals, the 3 hospitals that were equipped, are functioning, and they now have one hospital there, which is Eastern Visayas Rehabilitation Medical Center. How they now have a prosthesis shop. Those amputees can go there and have their prosthesis repaired. And so I'm so happy that the local leaders there, Dr. Kalina, Dr. Bugho, Dr. All the local doctors there really, continued on with it. So what's important is you find people who have the heart for it. So what you started, they will run with it and they'll continue on the mission. So that is what's important. That you have you had a mission that 10 years down the line, and it has an impact, and you see it produced some fruit. It's not just like a mission that was very transient and it doesn't have any. 10 years down the line, it's still there, and it's making an impact, and that is really what warms my heart, and what really, as physical rehabilitation medicine physicians, we're trained to work as a team. So we have the leadership skills to lead disaster response teams, not only as medical providers and also leaders and members of the team, and also community advocate, because you have to work with the local leaders, the local community. So our local doctors, volunteers who work with local leaders to make it happen. So you also have to work with the government and other NGOs to make it happen. So teamwork, cooperation is very important for the success of disaster rehabilitation. Also finding the right people, not only who have the skill, but have the heart.
I think you must have done an amazing job. And the proof of it is that even after a decade, the impact of your job that you did in 10 years back is still, there. And you must have felt really great visiting in 2023 and seeing all those people, working with the same enthusiasm with which you have left them.
Yes,
And
it's
I think that
really,
speaks a lot
it
about your
means a
effort and
lot.
your.
Because for me, I was worried, like, who will take care
Yeah.
of these amputees, like, who will continue on. And I'm so happy that the local doctors there really took on the mission to heart, and they're the one who continued it. And so I'm so happy. I think that's the most important lesson is finding the right people with the heart, and eventually the skills will follow, and they will continue on and run with the vision and the mission.
That is yeah, that is so true. So thank you so much, Dr. Filipinas, for providing us with your excellent insights, and I hope they are useful for our viewers as well. So thank you so much for joining us today. Bye bye.
Thank you.